Hey guys, Chad from Dirtport TV. Today we're going to do a quick walk around. Well, I say quick, but it probably won't be very quick. We're going to go over everything I've added on, some of the things I've purchased that are going to be put on, so they will be in future videos. So let's get this started. Hey YouTube. We're ready.
Music over this.
How many foot-pounds is that preload on there, Travis?
About 2 clicks.
I'm totally ready to go.
So the first thing I did was I installed some rock lights up underneath there. You probably can't see them because I have them hidden pretty good, but they're blue only, and of course I had to buy a switch for it too. I'll show you that later when we get inside. But this is the Tusk XO front bumper. I really do like this. I'm not running the bars that connect from here up to here right now because I have the windshield on, and it becomes a pain with the windshield on and off and taking these on and off because you have to remove both these bolts on each side. So basically you're unbolting the front half of your cage. So I only try to do that once a year. Put them on once, take them off once. That is basically the front. I did get some mirrors here recently, and you might wonder why one on the passenger side's up high and the one on the driver's side's down low. Well, I'm not for sure where I'm going to put them. Having them up high seems to be giving me the best view to the rear, but not to the front. They're so big that they block the front view a lot, especially when I'm driving on the road and I'm coming up to an intersection or something. So that's why I have one lowered and one up high. I'm trying to see what I like best and what is safest for me. I do have the Quadzilla Windshield on there. It's DOT approved. It has worked great. It's got a manual windshield wiper. I really like the windshield. I'm running the Polaris aluminum roof with a Tusk interior light. Which works pretty good. It's not the greatest, but serves its purpose. I do have on the outside here some tree kickers, Nerf bars, whatever you want to call them. I do not know what brand they are. They were one of my first purchases, so I don't really remember. And I believe those are UTV giant lower doors that I have. They're cheap doors. Hey, they keep the mud and all the debris out, so I really like them. They were kind of a pain with the Polaris Ride Command. So you have these mounted, and the doors you actually have to get in behind there, and I had to waller out some holes and stuff. But just like anything, you know, custom fit. I am running L&W Fab lowered seat bases on both driver and passenger. The passenger did not come with an adjustable seat base before. What I did was I purchased some parts off of an XPT, which would be the turbo, because they come with an adjustable passenger seat base. I ended up taking those parts and making them work with my factory seat. It's no big deal. It's basically just bolting a few parts on. I am going to make a video of that here in a little while. I am running right now CW Motorsports 5-inch chop top on it right now. I have chopped these cages before, but I also run a CEC enclosure, and see, I've chopped them in here and in here 5 inches. it works. It does well. There's nothing wrong with it. But I wanted to run an enclosure, and if you've seen my other videos with the enclosure on, this cage and enclosure are made to fit as one. So that was the reason I got rid of the cage that I did myself. I went with the CW, so I knew everything would bolt up to the CEC enclosure, and everything works really good. I'm happy with both purchases, with the cage and with the CEC enclosure. I am running some HRP reserve mounts reservoir mounts back here. They're right here because I did not have CW Motorsports mount. They can weld on the tabs that would look like factory mounts. I did not want that. The only thing I wanted on the back of here, because I didn't know where they would mount, and you can move them side to side, you know, I didn't want the factory mounts just to be limited with the factory mounts on there. But I did have them put on the tabs for the Click 6, so I could run the Click 6 seat belts, which I am running right now, and I do love those seat belts. They are great. This is a Ride Command edition, so when it goes to speakers and everything back in 2017, 2018, not very many companies were out there producing speaker systems that were plug and play, and I was not going to be cutting into my factory wiring harness with, you know, a brand new machine and void my warranty. So what I did was I went with the MB Court speakers, which are 200 watts each. They have been awesome speakers. They sound great. The only problem I have with these speakers is that they sit above the cage, and it's about that way with any tower speaker. So if I do have a rollover or any kind of mishap or something, you're going to shear these speakers, you're going to break them, and they're $800 for two speakers as a pair. Well, I'm probably going to go to a sound bar and run it up top here, because now there's companies out there making sound bars that plug directly into your Ride Command and will work and sound just as good, and I won't have to worry about ripping off the speakers if I ever do have a rollover. I am running, this is just a cheap $19 rear view mirror from Amazon. Works okay. Doesn't work that great with the speakers that I have in there, but I will say it works all together. It does fine. I am running some wrist restraints here. I have some small kids, so if we're doing anything crazy, I do not want their arms flying out. I'll end up having them pull this out, put your wrist through there, and then you grab onto the bar. And so if you ever flip over, the kids will not stick their hand outside the UTV and get it smashed, which is very common. I am also running in the rear here the rigid toolboxes. I have two, the bottom and the middle, I guess you would call. I don't know what sizes they're called, but you know, just go to any Home Depot or something, you can figure that out. But they're two rigid toolboxes, and I'm running the Big Hammer Fab mounting brackets. They seem to be working out well. That's something new I just put on before our last trip. They seem to be doing really good. I do run Mike Corbin Custom Works plug and play turn signals, which you can see the switch up there. There's my lighted whip switch, and there are my rock lights switch. It's a plug and play system for the Ride Command. It'll give you four front, so two on each side, and integrated into your tail lights, the rear turn signals. I do run the Buster Fenders, which I like a lot. They keep a lot of the debris down and mud off the side-by-side. And I'm not a mud guy. I like to keep my stuff clean. I do ride pretty hard, but I like to keep it nice and clean. In back here, we're running a Camp Zero 20 quart cooler, and I just have it mounted here, you know, with some buckles. Works great, no problems. These are for my booger whips. I run 4-foot booger whips, which they have been a great product. I have had no complaints, no problems with those. Really happy with them. I run a Super ATV rear bumper with a hitch. The hitch that I run in it is from Harbor Freight. It's a D-ring mount hitch. Use that to pull people out, or if I have to get pulled out. I do have a couple videos out there of some clutch maintenance and installation. On the primary, I am running a Hunter Works white washer in there, and on the secondary, I am running a Hunter Works rear round roller kit. No problems with the installation, no problems with it since I put them in. Very happy with that. Also, haven't had any belt issues before or after. But with before factory, as I guess would be, factory, I was getting a little bit of over travel. That's why I went with the white washer. And in the rear, on the secondary, I was getting some wear from the square pucks that are in the secondary, so I went to the round rollers. If you're interested in that, check out my video for the white washer round rollers. Moving on. That is about everything I have on here right at the moment. I am going to show you a few things that I got in the works, and I'll be making a few videos on these. Over here, Harbor Freight. It's everybody's best friend. Got the brand new winch, 5,000 pound Badlands. Haven't even opened it yet. I did hear that the winch, well, I don't know who this came from, if they had a 4-seater or a 2-seater, but they said that the wires in there from the battery to the winch controller are not long enough. So I went back to Corbin Custom Works and I ordered a seat Busbar winch harness. It's got the wires and everything you need to run a winch for my model, and these will be long enough because they are made specifically to go up to the winch. And what I'm going to do, if the wires in here, I haven't even opened the box yet, if the wires in here aren't long enough, this is another add-on that we're going to do to it. Since we're putting a lot of accessories on, we are going to add a fuse block, and I'm going to need power from my battery to the fuse block. So I'm either going to use the wires from there to run to the fuse block, because the fuse block doesn't go all the way up to the front, or I will use the Corbin Customs Busbar harness. So that's why I have those. Next on the list that's going to be installed is a sprayer for your windshield washer, tank sprayer. Like I said, I have the manual washer on the, or the manual wiper on the windshield, and now I'll have an automatic water washer, so it'll spray up fluid, the washer fluid. Those are coming up. I do have, this is the excuse me, this is the switch for this is a switch for an automatic windshield washer motor. I plan on getting a Ford Explorer rear window wiper motor from the junkyard, or even order one, you know, off Amazon. But you need this switch, so I have that, and that's coming up too in some other videos. And then when I was at Lowe's, I ended up running across these Klein Bags. These are going to be perfect bags to put inside of the rear toolbox. So that's just a few things I got going on that are going to be happening on this machine. Hey, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so every time I put out a video you'll be notified. And to all you guys out there that are subscribed, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. That's what keeps me going. And you guys have a good day. Thanks.